So what we do is like we do lead generation for the real estate business owners. I only target two niches at the moment, which is real estate wholesalers and real estate agents in United States. So what we do for them is like we build them AI sales systems where they can get more motivated sellers. So how we do is like we leverage different platforms. What we leverage platform is like the one which we use is Meta, from where we get the leads data, right? The second is Go High Level, in which we build the automation. So when the leads comes in from the Meta, also we use Google Ads as well. We run that. So when leads come in from there, then we do follow-ups and the other automations, for example, calling agents and then follow-up and nurturing every single thing. All of the workflows we have built inside Go High Level. So we do these things.
Amazing. So you're using AI for actual phone conversations?
You are on mute.
Oh. Apologies. I was just going to say, are you using AI for voice phoning at the moment?
AI for what?
For actual voice phoning, so voice sales.
Yeah, inbound calling and outbound calling.
Wow, really? And how has that been?
It is like I use different platforms. I have also used Go High Levels built-in, but it is not too much good, right? Because the quality and like the human interaction is not really good in Go High Level. So we use different platforms, like Retail AI and Webby.
And what about 11 Labs?
It is also good. I have also used that one because Go High Level, like 11 Labs is the only like number one platform who have started this thing, right?
Yeah,
Voices, and these kind of things. But they were not in the inbound and outbound calling agents. They just came in, I guess, 4 to 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Rappi, Retail, and Blend A are the ones who started specifically for inbound and outbound calling.
Mm-hmm.
So I have used different platforms, but if you want to like clone your own voice and then build an agent on that, 11 Lab is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I would say for the business purposes, I am using Retail AI, and it is also great. Also, there is my team in Pakistan. I also live in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
So they are building like a kind of software, a SaaS software, in which there is like they have hosted an open source model, right, on a platform. So they only have to like pay for the server and not for the LLM, because LLM is free, and on that free LLM they have built voice agents.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, so now they are in the building phase. When we use retail in this platform, we have to pay them, right? $0.9 or $0.8, something like that, per minute, plus the monthly subscription as well. But with that, you only have to pay for the server where you are hosting that LLM.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, free minutes. You don't
Wow.
have to pay for that. So the thing I have in my mind, because I'm using Claude and wide prospecting for getting lead generation for me, like it scrapes data from different sources all across Google and webs.
Mm-hmm.
Then it scrapes for me all of the data. Then now I am thinking of, like, for example, if we do outbound calling to retail AI and other platforms, that would be like expensive if you test the exact numbers which your agent is getting you the details from different sources.
Especially if you're put on hold and things like this, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So when he builds this system, we will then use that system to check whether the agent which is connected with the Claude and web prospecting is getting us the right contact details or not. Instead of because I now have like two cold callers in Philippines who are making cold calls, and it is like a bit exhausting for them as well when like making hundreds of calls every single day to test that okay if the data is good or fabricated. So this is the main reason.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, quality of data is probably the most important job of these agents. If they can scrape the data and get the direct mobile numbers and things like that. I mean, I get cold called all the time, and I have no idea how my number gets out there, but whoever's scraping that data is doing a very good job because they've got me straight on the line. Also, if you've got a sales bot and it's an artificial intelligence, how much more effective is it if it's calling the director, the decision maker, right there and then, rather than going through a personal assistant, executive assistant, receptionist, the wrong contact. You know, you could. It's literally the difference between winning a client or winning a meeting and not. So yeah, absolutely, the data is in absolutely like incredibly important in that process. I agree, but I mean, what sort of sources are you using to get that those contact details? AI systems also.
So the cloud is using different sources, but all are free, right? And now I have tested and came to this specific decision that it's not good, right? If we don't provide it with the right platforms to find contact details from these platforms, because if you only think that okay, these are the specific platforms which I think are the platforms where I can get the verified data,
Yeah.
right? So then it's not good.
Hmm.
100% because I have tested it several times, like giving
So
different prompts,
just
using
just
it
to
like
just to
as
conf- so just to be a bit clearer on this, because I want to understand what you're saying. So you're saying that the data that you have extracted, so pulling contact details, has not been good, and from what service exactly? From Claude?
you are specific. Yes, yes, from Claude, and there is another plugin in Claude which is called White Prospecting. So you connect that plugin with Claude Cowork.
Mm-hmm.
So when you run that Claude Cowork, then Claude Cowork goes to your browser because then you have connected your browser extension
Mm-hmm.
with the Claude Cowork. So then Claude Cowork uses your extension and uses your browser and
Right.
then searches for
And these are
those
free
leads
tools.
by having a plugin of White Prospecting in the backend.
Sure, and that's a free tool, right?
Yeah, 100%. But the thing is, like, it is using a lot of tokens. So if you are on the plan, such as their pro plan or something like that, the tokens get easily consumed. So
Mm.
I have turned on the extra usage in the settings and connected my card
Sure.
and given it the limit of, for example, $20 to $30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it like the my own plans tokens has already consumed, then it uses the extra usage and then
Okay,
charge
yeah.
me
Of course.
for
I
that.
mean, I think you could do that, but I think that's not the ideal approach, right? I think from my perspective, what I was planning to do, and I haven't done this yet, is I was planning to add every actually payable, so every payable subscription service to the Claude OpenClaw lead generator, and I was going to test all of them in their capabilities of scraping direct phone numbers and direct contact details. I would then get sales staff to confirm the numbers, report back if those numbers were accurate and indeed the direct lines, and then I would do a process of elimination and then remove the companies in which I felt were giving me poor contact information. And then again, as I say, I should have come. There's probably about 10 core ones out there on the internet right now. There's a ton. There's like Rocket Search, Lusher. There's all these extensions that scrape. There used to be a ton of phone numbers on LinkedIn, but I think a lot of people removed that off because they knew it was being
The same
scraped.
does, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I think we could put our heads together and we can figure out a way what's the best. If we're all, channeling our efforts towards the same direction, and I find a company that's really giving me good data for leads, then I'm happy to share exactly what that company is, and hopefully we can all benefit from that.
Right, and that's really great. And what kind of niche, like in which niche it is getting you the details, the contact, the leads?
You mean niche by what I'm trying to sell, or
Yes, yes. Like
so?
for
I mean,
example, lead generation with your agent.
well,
So for which niche it is getting you leads?
so whoever who uses our company is effectively a C-level executive. So that will be managing directors, CEOs, CFOs, finance directors, and in some cases, financial managers or finance controllers who might have that foreign exchange management delegated down to them. But for us, it normally is C-level executives because the decision makers need to be authorized directors who sign off on these business activities. So that's exactly who we'll be trying to get the information for, which obviously means it's not exactly an easy job because a lot of UK companies, which is our primary market, will have a very well versed receptionist or personal assistants who will really fend off anyone that's calling that will try to get in contact with that individual. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly why I was asking you about the your experience with the AI automation sales systems, because that's something I would love to implement in the future. Not to have the level of sophistication to actually sell to a company, but all I would like them to do is get a meeting booked, find the company, speak to the decision maker, tell them what we do so they know who we are, find out if they're eligible for our business services, and then book a meeting with myself or another senior member of staff. And that's it. I mean, if you had someone, a system that could do that effectively, that would make you scale immensely.
So today we have an expert in Claude and today also an expert in OpenClaw. So it's great to have this format and to see what Moo is using, which plan, and also how Gus is realizing this. Um, First question to Moo. What plan are you using, or are you just buying usage every time?
Yeah, it's normal plan, which is for $20, 17 or I guess $20, and plus extra usage as well.
Okay, okay. And Gus, you've been using OpenClaw last week again?
Yes, yes, I've been using OpenClaw £200 a month plan and also ChatGPT with a £200 a month plan. So at the moment, currently stands me in about £400 a month.
Right. Okay. And you are satisfied with the performance?
To be absolutely frank, I mean, if you're going to go down that route, I've been quite disappointed in Claude's performance as of lately. For some strange reason, myself and also other people online have actually reported that the Claude system, Claude Opus 4.6, is not performing as intelligently as it has in the past. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's a result of the project files becoming larger with every step I get through this process. I'm adding more and more project files to the overall project, and therefore the context window is getting bigger. Right, the Claude system has to process more information every time it's creating tasks and doing duties. I do have a speculation. I know that they're bringing out a new model, and I can't remember what the model is called.
This is the reason, yes. This is the
Ha,
reason something
yeah,
you call set.
exactly. So I mean, like, I'm sure everyone's aware. A lot of companies, Apple has been sued itself when they've went to bring out a new phone. What they've done is slow down their old phone so that the difference between the two phones are drastically different, and people want to upgrade. Right? There's speculation they've done this with AirPods, with the noise cancelling. And right now, Opus 4.6 is really showing a lack of computational power that I have not seen since actually inception. Things like I've got specific documentation within the project files that stipulate to do certain things, and I will tell it to do a task, and it will skip over things. And I'm hearing a lot of, "You're right, good catch. I'm sorry, yeah, I should have noticed that." And it's just constantly apologizing to me because it's not reading the instructions within the project files that should actually be, you know, directing it appropriately. So I've had a lot of frustration with it this week in that it's not operating in the same capacity that I remember it operating in the weeks earlier. And I don't know if that's because they're bringing out their new model. And you know, it would make sense if they are, because I certainly feel like at the moment it's quite inadequate in running this project, and it's slowed me down a lot this week. You know, it's debugging. You know, for several days it was debugging one instance, and then it went back and said, "Oh, I think we've already debugged this," and I knew the answer, but I didn't implement it, and my bad for doing that. I'm sorry. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've just spent so much time, you know. So very frustrating. And again, look, these video conferences that we're having, none of it should be trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. Let's be completely transparent and open about this. This potential for AI systems is infinite in that it can scale a business, it can save time, it can make a lot of people a lot of money, but there are problems with it, and this is one of them. Right now, the model is not showing performance in line with what it was previously showing, and I really hope that does change, because we need to use this, and I'm fully invested in this now. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the coming weeks. I haven't stopped working away.
Yeah, let's look at the things that are going well, the best use cases, and of course, like if you have any reflection on what's not going well, also shoot it. Because I've been working with Claude Also with OpenClaw, but it's just, as we said last week, it's way more technical. You have to do everything yourself, and then you have to debug a lot. And as the updates are just coming and coming and coming, I thought it was smart to just use an easy interface like Claude, because ChatGPT is not agentic. Uh, and Cloud connectors, they are very fast to use, right, Mohammed? So you are using them as
Yes.
well, you're saying. And it's actually plug and play, because you have a Chrome connector, you have a calendar connector, Stripe connector, ClickUp, and it's just basically just toggling them on. So with ClickUp, for example, ClickUp is a great dashboard. I can show it here in real time.
Yeah. For task management.
Exactly. Yeah, you can also build whiteboards. So I had some basic automations just to hydrate, and also some conferences like this. Also an email to Renata to drink water. And you need whiteboard. So it's a great dashboard, and the technical connection works well. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna use uh, this system more often. ClickUp. Are you familiar with ClickUp?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then also this is connected to Calendar on my phone, so I get memos there about the meetings, of course, and about hydration, etc. Then I also connected it to Stripe for personal uh, issues. I will not show Stripe in all my emails right away, but you can just show the connection with Stripe to Claude, and also via the direct connection, all the emails from Stripe will be in ClickUp. So then you're making a CRM.
Yeah.
So it's a great feature that you can put your Cloud Cowork on Stripe.
Amazing.
Then I did email automation as well. So it's basically another employee now. And with Google Sheets and Gmail, you can just script it. I had many emails there as well in Google Sheets. And yeah, so I think Cloud Cowork is actually easier than OpenClaw. But it's slow. So I'm on the max plan as well, but then still it's slow. I don't know.
You can
what's
change the
yours?
model. You can change the model. So obviously on the Max plan, it gives you access to their flagship model, which is Opus 4.6. But if you want speed and the process of the tasks do not require intricate intelligence, then you can downgrade the model to an LM model that is a faster model that doesn't necessarily need to think too much. So ChatGPT has 5.4 mini, which is exactly that.
Yeah.
So you can use Echo for that, Echo version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a ton of models that have specific cases. You know, some are really good at coding, some are really quick at just getting tasks done very quickly, but they don't have much intelligence or agentic thinking. That's a part of optimization that you have to do. I mean, part of what I've been doing with my systems is trying to, obviously I represented the lead generation system in one of the first sessions that I hosted. I've been now trying to make sure that we're optimizing the amount of tokens. So I don't want agents firing off and then failing and then coming back and then burning 5 times as much as tokens. I want it fully optimized so that there are minimal, if not any failures. I want to make sure that every system is doing its job to the best of its capabilities, but also I'm not using an LLM that is overpowered for a duty that a lighter LLM can do. And that's all to do with optimization and really getting the best out of this. Because when you start scaling and you're doing, thousands of companies, that really does make a difference. That's when the costs can really rack up. So to your point, Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, with the Anthropic API, it is also giving a specific kind of option, which is caching. So it does not block the credits every single time, which is OpenAI is not providing this thing. Caching, every single thing they have to think about that and read that all context, which burns your tokens. But with the Anthropic API, it has the feature of caching. So like it does not have to think a lot of times or even every single time when you process that
Yeah, yeah.
run.
This is also what makes it a little bit problematic when you go from one provider to another. And obviously, a lot of people now are jumping from OpenClaw using Anthropic's Opus, and they're going over to ChatGPT, but the same rules don't necessarily apply because they have different technologies in a way. You know, some of them have the caching, as you say, and others don't, which means that you have to change the framework, otherwise they simply won't work. And these are all nuanced things. And I mean, I'm sure you've also been listening to the community. There's just tons of things coming out on a daily basis in GitHub. I mean, what's her surname? Mila Djokovic, the one that was in Resident Evil. Her
Yeah.
husband has just developed a brand new memory system that is trending on GitHub. Tons of people are looking into it and using it. It's become very famous. And, you know, that's one memory system. And there are others. And it's almost like this complete free market of everyone trying to contribute towards the greater cause of agentic AI systems replacing employees. But we're so early. Like, I've been having problems sorry to just to finish this. I've been having problems with Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6, but that doesn't dishearten me because everyone's pushing towards the same goal. There will be more models, there will be more solutions, and as time goes on, if you educate yourself and use these systems, you're going to be so much better to deal with it when it really is able to, you know, scale your business or whatever it is that you want to do.
That's a good point. Like, are we gonna position ourselves now to actually get ahead? Because I feel like I'm ahead. Like, this is a great innovation. I have an extra employee. It's fast enough. Let's say. Of course, still, it's slow most of the time, but it does more in a week than another employee who is not working in the evenings. Um, then, if great updates are coming next week, and everybody that is not using Claude or OpenClaw now, but they jump in next week, then they make a great jump, and they're like on the same level as us.
I,
Um,
I don't think that that is entirely possible. You could argue that, you know, if you enter this market at a later stage when the technology is fully possible for anyone just to pick up and use, you could argue then why don't I just wait until that point? But in a way, the reason why there's opportunity is that companies can't do this right now, and it's not easy to implement. I think I said again in one of the first episodes. I said you might not need a consultant like me in this because you could probably do it yourself. I completely retract that. The updates, the problems in the system, the bugs, you really have to understand the framework to get it working. I currently have things working. I have like a Slack model right now that can you see on my. It's basically every phone call I get, it fully analyzes the whole phone conversation and gives me a report on everything intricately. And I have the sales bots intelligent actually understanding. I've got all the notes down for everything. It's absolutely fantastic. But that wasn't easy to build, and I don't think that what I'm building with the lead generator is also easy to build. And I don't think what Mo is building with the contact information and the sales systems is easy either. But that's where the opportunity lies, in my opinion, because it shows that a lot of people may try this and then they will give up and they'll go back to their manual processes. But the moment you are able to execute this flawlessly, and let's say there are a small few bugs, but the process still runs, it might burn a little bit more tokens, but you can scale with that. That's so scalable. If you're saving time now, Thomas, with that thing that it's the agent system that you've got, that's something that you can also scale. You can get it to do more things as long as the framework of that current one is working. Or you can now learn what you've done with building that into doing something else in another area. And the thing is, what do they say? They say that success is when opportunity meets preparation. And by utilizing these systems and educating yourself and being in the trenches, building these systems, you are building yourself the preparedness and which that gives you the opportunity. Because who's going to be better to deal with all the updates and the new, memory systems and the new extraction methods more so than the people that are currently using it right now? You know?
I think like if they jump in a month and Claude and OpenClaw will be way easier to use and also faster because they are developing fast, then it will be easier for those people in a month. to get on the same level. But there's another vision, another thought, where us as, let's say, developers, we have a lot of work now and we see a lot of opportunities, and there will only be more opportunities. And AI will not create less work, but actually more opportunities and more possibilities if you use your creativity for that. And you guys are like AI trainers. You could train people, you can advise people, AI consultants, right? And yeah, between us, also for Olga, it's interesting to consult people, yeah, because more people will join our webinars. We are busy with a launch upgrade 2.0. So a launch where we make it clear that we want to come together digitally, because now we can show our screen and people from all over the world can join in. And that this is starting next month in May. We want to be an AI first company, so we are obviously also busy with our own automations. But then, if we have more webinars, then you guys could speak more often. Mo, what do you think about the speed of Claude at the moment?
So when I was using this browser extension as well, right? In the browser extension, there is a specific kind of thing where it says speed, right? So when you click on the speed, it turns like your model, it changes your model, right? And it uses your extra usage for that to speed up your processes. So what I was using browser extension of Claude is for building my Go high level automations, right? So like using AI to build AI. I have real estate companies, like I'm working with real estate companies, so I build them Go high level workflows and other stuff, right? So I already have team for that, but I was just testing this thing out to see how it works. So what I does is like open Go high level, give access to it through browser to the Claude, and told the Claude to build these automations. I given him the context that we need this kind of workflows and you have to build it for myself in the Go level. And it started doing that, and it just built it for me in under 30 minutes, right? So it's like more better for me by, for example, if I hire a person, which I already have the team for that, and it takes like around weeks, right, for those systems to build. For example, 7 to 14 days they take for building those systems. Like there are tons of automations. So Claude is doing that for me easy. And if I am paying them, for example, a salary of $500 to $600 or maybe $1,000 or $2,000, and the Claude is doing that thing for me even faster than them and in the less amount, which is maybe 50 tokens they will like, maybe $50 they charge me for that, or $100. It's like easier for me as well, cheaper for me as well, and faster for me as well. So you can, how we can like scale our agencies by that. For example, if someone wants to scale without having more team, they can do this thing, right? Like use Claude Co-op or OpenClaw or these kind of agents to build other agents, using agent to build agents. So this is really good. I am testing on this thing, and it was really interesting that I saw that it built it for me. And the workflows that it built for me was even better than the workflows my team is building for me.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we, for example, when we build a workflow, right? First of all, we have the framework of that, and like the knowledge of that what will be the processes, and we build those processes by using Claude first of all, right? Building the documentation for that by Claude, and then I like send that documentation to my team, then they build that workflows for me or for my clients. So without doing that, what I now do is like build the documentation from Claude and give that documentation to back to the Claude and tell him to like build those automations that for which I build the documentation for me on the Go high level. So it does that for me. And now what I am thinking is, for example, because you have told me about the lead generation, yes, and the thing is, it matters, like it is different with every single niche, right? Because if you like if in your niche you are looking for C-level executives, so it will basically be targeting the platforms where it will find their contacts. Maybe more often it will be looking for LinkedIn, right? Then if I talk about real estate and the other stuff, it will be like looking for different platforms. And maybe it like brings in fabricated data, what it was doing. The data was not 100% incorrect and fabricated, but it was around 60% fabricated. Right? 60%.
When you say fabricated, that wasn't hallucinations on the AI, was it? That was just it pulling information.
Yeah,
It was
not exactly AI,
hallucinations.
but yeah, no, maybe like listen, when it searches for the free sources, right?
Yeah.
For the free sources, maybe on the websites. So it does not know.
But how does it not know that it's a website?
Is it verified or not, right? How would it know that if the data on the website is correct or not? Maybe the website is old and they have changed their numbers.
Right. So yeah,
it's
it's pulling that information out of the code on the website, not actually the number that's on the website. It's on the HTML code on the website. That might be an old number that the business might have used when it first founded itself, or something like that. It might not necessarily be because when I've got my OpenClaw system right now to pull phone numbers, it always knows which one is the switchboard or the reception number. Which is what it's finding a lot of, right? But it knows that, so it won't tell me that's a direct number when it knows it's the switchboard number. So I was just wondering, like, are you being told by the AI that it's a direct line and you're calling it and you're speaking to the receptionist?
So yeah, I asked her, and like what my team was doing is like making calls, and they were saying that okay, these numbers, like some of them just went to voicemails, and some of them like
Mo,
followed.
we're going to put our heads together. We're going to find out the best source and way to do this, and we're going to find the best way to extract numbers. We're going to do
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, like what I was saying is that why not we connect the actual paid sources with them, right?
Yes, yes, that's exactly what I plan to do.
What I am going to do is like I will connect Apollo's extension
Yep.
or the plugin with Cloud Co-op, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it has the data or even the zoom in for you.
Precisely. Yeah.
It will know it has now the verified data, so it will be pulling exactly the contact details or ICP.
Precisely. I mean, I've got 10 different providers that I'm planning to plug in and pay monthly, evaluate, process of elimination, remove the ones that are really giving me rubbish information and are not pulling the right numbers. And we can both see, we'll have an unbiased test. You run your test, I'll run mine, and we'll come back and we'll report which ones we think are the best. We don't need to tell the public. We can tell ourselves. If they want to know, they can consult us. But look, that's the way that I plan on doing it, because we're not we don't need to guess. All we need to do is trial them. Yeah, we do a process of elimination, and we literally go through those numbers, get the sales staff to give those numbers a call, and we can see it might be a few that are actually good. I understand that Instantly, Apollo, all these platforms, some of them are good at providing a number for someone that they don't have the number for someone else, and that seems to be like a thing that happens, and that's fine, because then you could use both of those plugins. You can connect two of those APIs to the OpenClaw system, and you control that information. But that's just one of the problems, right? That problem is a very big time problem as well, because I mean, if you were given a company or a contact that you wanted to contact as a business, and you knew that the moment you spoke to that decision maker, that would be one of the most lucrative clients that you could ever have contacted, you could spend all day finding that number, and you'd probably find that number, right? But this is where it is really a benefit with the OpenClaw systems, because if you give them all the right tools, they will find that number, but autonomously, and that's over all these different companies that are your specific ideal client profile. And that's where it makes so much of a difference. The amount of lead generators I had, or junior staff, or even people that work from underneath me as cold callers, in my job in the past, that was so bad at getting information, direct dials, the contact details. And I see the potential of OpenClaw and AI really pulling that information far quicker than anything else. It just goes to show the potential. Yeah, it's exciting stuff, but it just requires a lot of testing, a lot of patience. I have been getting frustrated with it because, you might have been as well, right? When it's giving you information or phone numbers that it's telling you this is the direct number, and you find out it's not. That must be very frustrating. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and when you spend like a lot of time and your cold call is calling them hundreds of leads, and then it comes up with the EOD end of the day and says that okay, these are the results. 100 calls, these were answered, no answered, not interested, or went to
What
voicemail
we
and
what
something
we
like
need to possess is tenacity, right? We need to not give up.
Hey,
that. Yes,
questions,
Tom.
AI, because Olga joined a few times, and I saw Olga also working on some automation. So my question is, how did it go? Did you make some good steps? Um, because yeah, let's discuss our progress.
Yeah, I can
Olga,
begin.
yeah, let's check if Olga is there. Otherwise,
Yes,
we-
yes, I'm here. One moment. Okay, there we go. I'm in bed, guys. Yeah, what's up? But I'm following. I mean, so for my community, local community, we organize a lot of workshops with different speakers, right? And AI is the hot topic right now. So I'm attending a lot of events and a lot of workshops, as well as here online listening to people who are utilizing AI. And I'm just so happy to, like, thank you, Thomas. Like, I'm so happy to be in this room because it is pushing me to think outside of the box and to be like thinking of how I can implement it in the different processes in my life, in my business, but also optimizing and making my own life more efficient. And we're trying to build something for the community. It's kind of like a little booking agent because I'm spending a lot of time right now talking to different speakers and explaining them the whole process of how things work, and then booking with the venues. And I'm the booking agent, right? So I need to take that off my hands. So I wanted to build that with OpenClaw, but then it was eating up the tokens like it's been hungry for centuries. So I went back to N8N. And maybe it's because like my process is quite simple, but actually it was possible to build what I needed in N8N. I might return back to OpenClaw once there is more of a need for that. So personally, I'm using Claude, and I'm at this personally me, I'm not very tech savvy, gotta say that. So I'm right now at the step where I'm just feeding different skills to my Claude to expand its capacity. And it's building my website, contact list, contacting people, working on branding. I'm a one-man show in my business, so it's very useful that I have somebody to like bounce ideas off with as well. But it does require a lot of time, a lot of checking, so it doesn't just like run off in a totally different direction. So I'm also happy to hear that other people are struggling with that. Makes me feel a little bit better. And and generally, yeah, just super happy to just hear how you guys are implementing it for you. It's all seeding ideas in my mind, so that if I come to like something similar, I'll be like, oh, people were using it for that, and I can see that I am implementing these ideas now.
What's one small thing that you've been working on? What's not going that well?
Not going that well. So in Claude, I built the website, right? And I really try to make it not look AI built. Like I wanted, also because like I'm running a community, right? So I really wanted to have this like warm feeling and like personable. So then building like the back end where users can log in and like create the profile.
Member
And huh?
member login.
Yeah, member login. Yeah, exactly. So they all have like different IDs and can do different payments, different tiers, all of that. With also yeah, like creating their profiles. And I want to implement something into it where users can be matched with each other based on their preferences, potentially questionnaires that they would answer, like what is their psychology and behavior like, so match them like a little bit like on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is now like bringing me to this like back end side, which is a little bit hard for me to grasp. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion would be to break that down into bite-sized chunks, because what happens when you overload even the OpenClaw system with too much information, it just trips up. It will spill certain things into other areas, and it's cross-contamination, and it's frustrating, agreed. And it's why, people ask me, why are you buying 10 MacBooks to run these systems? And I said, because I want to do one with one job, and then that's it. That's finished. I go on to the next. Because I've actually even come to the self-realization that even my lead generation OpenClaw system has got too much. It's got too much in it. It's got discovery and research, and I thought that would be fine, but that's still convoluting it. Sometimes it's firing off the wrong agent, the wrong sub-agent, or the orchestrator might get involved and he might start doing things, and I have to now go back to the rules and say, you cannot do this because you need to delegate duties. So it's a lot of this, and I think the more complicated it gets, the harder it becomes. If you've got a website, the easiest way to do it would be to separate every web page that you're planning on doing, make a project, make sure it knows the overall goal of the whole website, and then segregate every page into independent tasks that it can have context onto, and then obviously keep saving and updating. But yeah, it's not easy by any means.
Did you make a website, Gus, with solely OpenClaw? Like just the prompt, or like you're saying right now, like projects within Claude, and then working websites? Because my website runs on Framer, but as Moo knows, because Moo built it, it runs manually.
My one was completely vibe coded. There was literally zero coding from my end. I spoke to it, refined it. I had to change a few things for the logo to be in the right place and things like this. But it was all vibe coded. I don't know how it looks because I have a bias. I think it looks kind of AI generated, but I'm not too bothered about that. I mean, for me, it was a test. And if I really wanted to spend time to make it not look AI, I know it's possible because I have a friend who's a web designer. It's his sole job. And he made a website and showed me it through AI. And he said, I can't believe how it's made this amazing website. This one doesn't look AI. And the one that he showed me, which he used with AI, with zero coding, because he's a website designer, it did not look AI at all. So it's possible. And I guess he's got an advantage because he's a website designer. But yeah, it all depends. As you say, Olga, it's about how much time you're willing to invest in it. I think if you put your time and energy into one of the tasks, you will get a final end result that is very satisfactory. But when the more complicated you get, the more hurdles you'll come across. But again, there's just so many solutions that are coming out. I mean, there's this thing that is called Paperclip that's coming out. That's already been out. It's got a ton of reviews on GitHub, and it's one of the first agentic frameworks where every agent has a specific, I think it's a task allocation. So they're all sequential, and they have a task, almost like a ticket, and then they report to each other. But it's called Paperclip. Have a look into it. It's very interesting. It's still not completely bugless, but it just goes to show that there are so many people out there finding solutions. Like, the community is crazy on this. People that are far more intelligent than me, and people that are far more useful when it comes to actual coding. So if we can extract what they're building, we can capitalize on that. We didn't have to build OpenClaw to use it.
I wonder if it's possible to build it with Lovable, because that's also vibe designing. So you just tell Lovable, as Renata knows, she also built a landing page. But I wonder if it's possible to build a membership login via Lovable.
So this is what I'm doing now in Lovable. Actually, I'm trying to hack the system. So I'm using Lovable to actually build this members login and connecting it to the payment system, and it seems to work.
So
Nice.
if you want to make this like member login thing, you must need to use Replit for that. Replit is better for that. Web applications and this kind of stuff. Replit.
What is it called?
Replit. REPLIT.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is really great for building this kind of stuff. Web apps, mobile app applications, websites, this kind of stuff.
Can you put that in the chat, Mo? And also,
Yeah.
Gus, there was this meme about us humans basically being pro Maxes because we feed their models, we train them, right? We use them, and people of the future they use us actually.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
already being by the big companies like Anthropic and OpenAI. They just want us to use it a lot.
100%, yeah. But it's also strange that we're seeing Anthropic refund people since they made it now no longer possible for people to use with OpenClaw, and they've actually come out with a public statement saying that we're going to refund anyone that wants their money back because they know that you're not able to use it with OpenClaw. But it goes to show that they might have a limitation in terms of their capacity. I think that is the case. That the speculation on the street is that Anthropic do not currently have the capabilities to meet the demands that we currently had as a result of OpenClaw. So that it's also kind of strange because I ran out of tokens so quickly when OpenClaw was, launched within a week or two, and now I'm not. So I have more. Capability to do more work. So I'm not running out of tokens as quick, but my model is not as intelligent. So am I using a less intelligent model that is apparently supposed to be Opus still? It's strange, isn't it? It's very strange. But look, I'm still getting progression, and that's all that matters really. And I think one of the most important things is learning. I think again, I'm learning so much as I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm just hoping within a month or two I have the lead generation system completely finalized, no stalling or significant errors, and then I've come to the conclusion as to what data sources I have happily subscribed to in order for it to extract premium data so that I can have that. I mean, even just that, it would be an immense change to my company. If I could have.
Main goal? Is that your main goal? Let's do a round.
The main goal for the next month or two, yeah. The main goal for the next month or two for me is to make sure that the lead generation system is fully fledged, semi-autonomous, with with absolutely essential and useful gold information. So we're talking about phone numbers that are actually the decision makers' phone numbers, information on the company that you can't just Google, that isn't just on their website. There are so many companies that I'm looking to add to. So, things like Encino, which is Formula Judil, Endol. These are companies that can give insights into financial information of the business or specifics that aren't available in the public domain. And that's the kind of information that I think will give any small company such as myself an incredible edge in comparison to bigger companies out there who do have access to the information, but they simply don't have the capabilities for their staff to extract and pull it so rapidly. I'm very confident that as well my AI agent knows my business processes. It's so good at analyzing companies in relation to what we do for them and how we help them. And so now it's more about refining the agent so it can pull information quickly, efficiently, without error, and then have it on my desk ready for me to approach another member of staff or for the sales bot eventually to reach out by email or other means.
Right. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Gus. So at this time, what are the problems you are seeing in your agents? What are the exact problems it has?
The problems I'm currently seeing are inconsistencies in the workflow. There seems to be a lot of issues going from end to end with the workflow. There's bugs that appear out of the blue, out of nowhere, then other bugs, and trying to fix one issue can sometimes cause future issues. So I'm trying to really, do a process of finding out what the issue is using evidence-based a system before we actually implement any fixes. But there seems to be just so many. As I said, like the framework is sound, and the systems are sound, but if Opus is also failing to acknowledge the framework that's there, and it's apologizing and saying, sorry, I should have realized that. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, good catch. That is really where it's annoying because you've done your job,
You are using Anthropic's API or OpenAI's API.
So I'm using Claude Code and I'm also using ChatGPT 5.4 thinking for the OpenClaw system. So I have Claude Code with access to the repository files and the Markdown files of the OpenClaw system. So when I want to implement a change, I use the Claude Code to make changes, but I'm actually using ChatGPT 5.4 thinking for the OpenClaw system to run.
Okay, and the system instructions which you have built for the OpenClaw, how you have written those prompts, the system prompt I'm asking about.
What do you mean the system prompts? How am I speaking to it?
Like when you train the agent with the system prompts, how do you write those?
I'm using Slack to send commands.
No. At the time you build the agent,
When I built it.
Give it instructions, right?
Yeah.
Instructions and the system prompt you give it.
Yeah. So it's in how did I build the Markdown files?
Sorry again.
How I built the Markdown files?
No, the system instructions I am talking about. When you give it to the agent, the time when you build the agent, you give it the system instruction to follow those when you start a process. That kind of instructions.
They're within the Markdown files.
Write in the English and like give it to them or something like that.
Yeah, so they're all in the Markdown files in terms of how it operates, the OpenClaw system.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how did I build that? I built that using Anthropic, 4.6 Opus.
All the system instruction and then you put it to the OpenClaw.
That's correct. Yeah. So I built it using Opus 4.6. And then I upgraded it, and then I moved it over. Then I split up the agents from one agent into several. And it has been working, but there'll be nuanced problems that arise that is hard to locate and find. A lot of the time I'm sending the terminal output, and I'm saying, what's your theory and what's going wrong? And then we'll run through the checks, and it's just taking a lot of time trying to dissect and find individual problems. And there's a ton of problems we have fixed and solved, which are as a result of updates and things changing and implementing new frameworks and stuff. But there are still many bugs where the system will stall, and I have to figure out what's going on. So it's also, when I look at what I've built, it is very complicated. I've got 7 agents, and then there's 7 agents under one of those agents. And they all require a level of, intelligence to work out what they're doing. It's not, a standard code of, if either. It's literally a nuanced, flexible question. They're looking at the company and what kind of businesses that we approach and how is that going to be relevant. And I have put as many, strict rules in place to reject certain companies, so like company size and things like this, and it's working well. But when there's a bit of nuance, it even suggests to me not to use the LLM and actually to use the Lobster OpenClaw framework, so that it doesn't need to go through the thinking process, so it can just be like a computer program and can reject and pass. But there's so many issues, like even with the blockage on websites and things like that because of the servers and.
Yes. Automation right there. When you hold your hand for 5 seconds, it goes like this. Okay, so you can all use. Maybe you have to toggle it on. So Mo, is it clear what Gus, his main goal is to you?
Yes. Fixing up all the goals for the next 1 or 2 months and like build his entire lead generation system, like remove all the bugs and make it perform better than it is doing now.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
great.
I was just suggesting one thing to like.
Yeah, please suggest. Yeah.
Yeah, when OpenAI API key is something like it is OpenAI is not good at following the instructions too much, right? Like the Claude does. But what you can do in this case is like when you write the system prompts, use and OpenAI has its own prompt optimizer, right? So what you can do is like put that prompt in that prompt optimizer of the OpenAI, and then it will optimize that for you.
Right.
Then use their system, copy and paste that on your OpenClaw system. So
Fine.
now, after doing this, your system will be working way more better because now it is specifically optimized according to how OpenAI knows about that, right?
Very good.
Because it also writes it in a specific format as well.
Right,
So
right.
format,
Let's-
yeah.
let's-
So if you do that, it will help you a lot.
Fine. But you also said that OpenAI doesn't follow.
We have to wrap it up.
I want to ask one thing. I just want to ask one thing. Just one thing. You said OpenAI doesn't follow prompts as well as Claude. Is that actual fact?
Yes, it's the actual fact because OpenAI is not good at these following the prompts, the system instructions, but Claude is even more better at that. So that's why what you can do is like use Claude and Anthropic's API for the complex tasks in your agents. And when you have some tasks that okay, you know that okay, here I don't want a lot of complexity, a lot of thinking and reasoning. So there you can use your OpenAI keys.
Right, right.
With the complex tasks and those things, you must need to have
Well,
Anthropic's key.
The only problem is we can't use Anthropic without API.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you use your Claude subscriptions API, then your Claude API Claude account will be banned and
Yeah.
will be flagged.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, you will need to sign up for Anthropic's API key separately on its own platform, and then buy the API key and connect it with your OpenClaw.
I understand. Okay, great stuff.
Moo, what's your main goal?
Also, my main goal is to build my own lead generation system for my own company, but AI with the paid sources like Apollo, Instantly, Zoom Info, maybe other stuff as well. Connect those paid sources with that, then we have the next layer because one thing is done. So I'm also building the whole sales system, not just the lead generation system. It is already generated, right? You have a contacts, you have emails, you have company address, details, emails, phone numbers. Then the another thing is like outreaching them. Outreaching is also the thing you need to do. And for that, I also need to build the system because with the cold calling, okay, it's that easy. We will have the agents, outbound calling agent that will be calling them, right? But with the email, you have SMTP and other kind of stuff, and with the new inboxes and mailboxes, you cannot send more than 100 emails every single day, and then you have to warm up that. And for that, I will be connecting instantly with that.
I knew you was going to say that.
And to buy 10 to 15 mailboxes, which is already warmed up, and then send hundreds and thousands of emails every single day, then we will be having another agent that will be doing the further conversation with them, even follow-ups and nurturing as well. Then another one will be booking the appointments with them, even on the meetings, even on the emails or on making the calls, because the AI agent who is calling has the ability of my calendar and the ability to book appointment with me. So yeah, that's really great. So I will be doing this thing.
Mo, I'm trying to accomplish the exact same thing, and I think if I do manage to accomplish that, I think the scalability is immense because what we actually offer as a business is such a win-win for ourselves and a client. You know, we save them money, we help them with market advice. Sometimes we can save them up to 2% on FX fees instantaneously, so quickly by switching providers. So if we can just get people the information that they will actively be able to use to improve their company, all it is a matter of sales output. So yeah, getting all these people this information, it will scale any business that has an actual service that can make an improvement. It's crazy. But yeah,
one more thing which I need to add here is what I'm also doing is to testing the operation side as well, because the delivery, right, the deliverables, because in an agency or in a company, like these things are here: lead generation, sales, and deliverables. You also provide services, right? So I also want my service part to be automated as well, as I am doing building my workflows in Go High level with a cloud. So this is also the thing we need to deliver deliverables. It is also need to be automated, right? So yeah, these three things:
100%.
lead generation, sales, and then deliverables.
That's exactly that's the core revenue engine that I'm looking to build. It's the CRM manager that deals with all the data that comes in. You can see my phone call being logged and transcribed and sent to me. all the data with Salesforce, all of that stuff. That is such a time waster for any individual, right? And then you've got the lead generation and the outbound, and then all it really takes is the intelligent humans, the decision makers, the people that have the personality, the flair, the likability factor to phone and speak to these clients, and that's it. You don't need
Yeah,
AI to do the
have you
intimate stuff.
have you seen about Ava? I think Ava or Ave. It's sales agent, totally AI,
Mm.
and it competition with Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, but it won. So also salespeople will also lose their job
Yeah, I
because
think.
it's actually emotional, you know, like it remembers everything of a client or a lead. It works all the time, picks up the phone, calls again if somebody, you know, doesn't pick up, calls again if somebody picks up but has to go soon. So it's the perfect sales rep. It's crazy. It's crazy what's
It
happening.
is crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, very near to the path where we will be able to making hundreds and millions of dollars through AI systems.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, guys, it's obvious that we should stay flexible with whatever is gonna happen. Olga, what's your main goal?
So I want to finish building this booking agent and finish my website. But also, I would like to say that on the topic of AI, I would like to participate in conversations or be at a table where the conversations about ethical use of AI and sustainability, the future of humanity with AI is like an open space to discuss that, because I know the buzz is great right now that we can maximize profits and revenue and optimize processes, but also just like, yeah, some concerns that are coming up.
Exactly, yes.
There are a ton of concerns, but I have no idea how we'd ever combat it when we have every company on the stock market already, competing against each other. The way that these businesses work is they are literally trying to get ahead, and that's it. And nothing there has changed because that's capitalism. And the reason why we're really not putting any hard ring fences into our AI systems currently is because we have the opinion, and I mean we, in terms of our economies, we have the opinion that if we're not the one with the greatest AI power, then we will be overtaken by the next country. And so I don't know how we would do that on an individual level when on a country level we're not following any of those rules. A lot of people have ring the bell on how dangerous AI is, and I believe that the only thing we really could do is make as much money as yourself possible in order to not be in the potential dystopian future that may become present. Also, you have a lot more influence when you are rich. So if you do want to make positive change, make yourself rich, and then use your voice in the future to actually affect change.
100%. And that brings me to another point, that we want to create one of the smartest communities, because my background is AI and also ethics, because AI is about ethics. And there will come a point, and maybe it's there already, that we're gonna think about not what to make and how to make it, because we can make everything, yeah, just with vibing, but should we make it? And then you have a group of smart people, like a mastermind. And I had a lot of meetings online with experts all over the world. Sometimes we had like 15 countries in one webinar, in one meeting, time zones, and they're just, distributed, right, over the planet. This is what we want to create because you need some governance. Gus, you're talking about governance. Like, where is it heading to? Capitalism, that's the root of probably of most evil. How to get rid of that? I think AI will come with solutions. How to create better political system? How to deal with capitalism or many super rich people? How to ask them to give their power away, because why would super powerful people give their power away?
You could you could
Yeah.
argue that with actually the implementation of artificial intelligence and unlimited resources to every individual on the planet, that money would become obsolete, right? So there is a chance that if we have 3D printers that are powered by the sun, we have nuclear fission, everyone on the planet doesn't need to work again. what's the use of money? It becomes completely obsolete. If you there's no need for commercialism, because you can print clothes and houses, and cars can be made with electricity directly on a conveyor belt. That appears to me to be a thing, that could happen in the future. But it goes down to that experiment with all the rats in a cage, where you give them an abundance of companions, sex, food, and they end up all killing themselves. So there's a psychological, weird, dystopian thing that occurs when you give a species everything it has and it has nothing else to look forward to. So maybe, the reason why we exist, or partly the reason why we're able to be content, is because we have something to do. And what happens when you take away somebody's purpose because you give them everything that they could ever want? I don't know. It's too overwhelming to even comprehend. And I think, as I say, the only way that I can defend myself and also have the ability to positively impact the world in the future is to protect myself financially by making as much money as possible, educating myself so I know what's going on, and then also are able to have the influence and power in the future to go out and say, I believe this is wrong, this is right, this is how we should, change things. And I think that's the only thing you can really do.
Yeah, no, that's why we different automation to make a lot of money, but probably people will have a lot of free time, leisure time, and then the work is going to be to become a better human being, because we're going to have more time to chill, to go to the beach, to go to the cinema, go for dinner with each other. We've been doing many dinners. Also, Olga, then I think local community can be very interesting, because you do a lot of physical activities in Bali, right? Like for fun as well. So people will have more time for fun. Because like you're saying, many things will be automated. The value of money will go away because we don't have scarcity anymore. Yeah, robots, machines, AI, software everywhere is just gonna sustain the societies.
Its production cost falls to zero, right? If you've been able to harness nuclear fission effectively, you're turning nuclear fission into electricity, into automation and manufacturing automation, and even pulling commodities out of the ground using automation. You've got shipping automated, you've got ships automated, you've got taxis automated. What's left for the human to do when he has an abundance of infinite resources? And is everyone just going to turn into a creative arts individual? Everyone's just doing painting and chilling on the beach? I don't know. It seems absolutely crazy, but also I feel.
That's why I think. That's why
because you can speak for that.
Thank you, Mel. That's why I think that we're talking now about how we can utilize AI to solve the problems of today. But I think we can also be like open-minded and creative to kind of consider like, well, how is the future? How is tomorrow going to look? What kind of problems are we going to have? So like to be even ahead. Those problems.
Do you know what the problem with that, Olga, is that I feel like it's incomprehensible. I feel like this whole, has there ever been a state of the economy where it's run when 99% of the workforce is robots? What happens to the whole economy when no one has a job? That sounds absolutely insane. Just to even fathom that, it doesn't. Everyone is, every economist around the world is completely dumbfounded as to what that could mean for the world. Is it going to be great? Is everyone going to be happy, or are we going to, end up blowing ourselves up? I have no idea.
I think it's going to be personal development. You have business development and personal development, and there will be challenges. For example, when you're rich, like you still have some problems with family, for example, or with love, with trust. So as I studied psychology, some people will have problems, still. For example, autism doesn't go away just that easily. So there will be a whole spectrum, whole dimension of personal development, and becoming a good person, good friend. And we have more time for that because we're not machines anymore. Right now, we are machines and we're doing repetitive tasks. The most repetitive tasks are being replaced, like in a factory. Yeah, you have robots there. Yeah. But now, still, we are, programmed, and we do a lot of mechanic things still.
I think you're quite optimistic there, Thomas. I think you're speaking about the perspective from a good person, but I think a lot of the people that are running the companies in the world are not good people. And I think there are a lot of people that are striving for power and domination. And if they take that ability for them to be recognized as a dominant force in their respective field, I think they might get bored, and therefore they might turn into doing something else that gets them recognized as a powerful person within their respective industry. And I think that is quite dangerous, because a lot of these people, their fuel isn't money. They've got enough money. Why does Bill Gates make more money? Why is he still working?
Never-ending
Same
black
thing.
hole.
Same thing. It is very dangerous because you know that
It's certainly not money, right?
Pentagon,
Because he has enough.
Pentagon, right? Like OpenAI has given its access to all its AI to Pentagon for using that in the wars. So you can think that a lot of dangerous things could be happen as well. A lot of nuclear bombs and other kind of stuff. You can also think about that as well.
Yeah.
So not just the good things, but the bad things as well. I heard about this. I'm not sure if it is the right or wrong, but people are saying that when they hit the president of Iran, right, the Israel, so they were using the model of OpenAI.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is very dangerous. It is
Absolutely.
also-
I mean, Palantir have already been using their technologies for warfare, and that's automation too. That's AI automation. There's no question about it. But I don't think the danger will derive from individuals such as ourselves trying to make money from our businesses. I think it is way further up in the chain, with people really trying to manipulate, and effectively create immense wealth and power at the cost of innocent people. And I don't think that's what any of us are doing. And therefore, I don't feel guilty. I feel very happy to spread the word of AI for individuals such as ourselves to utilize the technology and be in the know, because I'm all about philanthropy and I'd love to be involved more into it. I think we'll eventually become biologically immortal, and we'll have diseases be eradicated. They'll reprogram viruses to attack cancers and disease in the body. And I think that's great, but it is a double-edged sword, admittedly. But it's heading that way anyway, and we certainly can't stop it by not using it. If we don't educate ourselves and use it, that act of defiance, if you will, won't do anything. In fact, that will make us worse off, because I think, as I said, if you make yourself powerful and recognizable and have influence, that's the only way really you can affect change, is by doing that. Yeah.
You should watch the podcast, Stephen Bartlett. Do you guys know him?
Yeah. Diary of a CEO.
Exactly. There's an episode maybe from last week. I can look it up. It's about this power and how powerful people would give away their power in the benefit of others. Why would they try to help those other people? BlackRock, for example, has over 10 trillion in assets. So they're talking about this, how to govern AI and the future of humanity. Maybe it's up to God. I don't know. But
Maybe it's up to AI.
some people say even that Jesus is coming back in the form of AI. because
Joe
it's
Rogan said that,
all-knowing.
right?
Yeah. It's all-knowing and coming from a virgin, which is a computer. Um, let's wrap it up. Our goal is to also automate more, to automate content, especially. Been practicing with that as well. Last year already with HeyGen, and it works very well. So I use HeyGen, ChatGPT, CapCut. We'll do that more. Then the WhatsApp community. Also, I want to use.
Thomas and can build a lot of beautiful things as well in the past.
Sorry?
Like you and me have built very good things in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in Asian 11 Labs, Whisper AI, and the other stuff as well.
Yeah, so next time you see me here, but it's not going to be me, it's going to be 11 Labs and HeyGen. I think there is actually Zoom integration, but that's going to be one of the goals as well.
That's amazing. I mean, like, I would hope that everyone really that's thriving in this field of AI is trying to create positive change in the world, because we've got a ton of people who are really, contradicting themselves and sending out the wrong message for young people, and that changes their trajectory and what they want to do. And it's just this whole industry of selfishness. And I don't know if you saw the Louis Theroux documentary, Entering the Manosphere or something. you know, just an insight into those influencers is, you know, is just really quite, you know, shocking. It's like people are aspiring and looking up to these individuals that are incredibly selfless scammers, and I really hope that, I know that we will certainly, but I really hope that more people that are utilizing AI are good eggs, are not people trying to manipulate and push people down the wrong path. But human nature, we're going to get good people, bad people. You know, all you can do is try and rise above and do what you can. You know, into it. Yeah.
Let's preach about.
Yeah, we got
some
it.
reels.
Let's get
Right, thank you.
health, fitness, love people, happiness.
Yes, we will post this part.
Awesome.
Right. Keep you updated.
It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much as well. Have a nice day ahead.
Cheers, guys. Take
Yes.
care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The recording has stopped.